Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Blood Talk. Today we're going to be discussing a fantastic fantasy series that I am forever in love with by the amazing Vaughan. I won this book in a giveaway on Tumblr years ago and I never win. I think I just reblogged it on like a whim and I won. And I completely forgot about it until she messaged me and said, "Oh, you won, what's your address?" And I'm like, what? And I didn't even know what the book really was about. I kept seeing it on my timeline on Tumblr and lo and behold, the greatest fantasy book I possibly have ever read ever. The green screen is like going through it, but it's perfectly fine. This book is so good. I don't even know if it's YA or not, but protagonists are young boys, teenage boys, I believe. Vaughan, I'm gonna say his name wrong. It's been forever since I have read this book, but it's stuck with me so much because this is a type of fantasy I love and this is the kind of fantasy I want to write. Though I know my themes are going to be more darker and probably more Victorian and probably more, I guess, this is like Celtic. This is Irish and Celtic lore because the author is, I believe, is of those things. Correct me if I'm wrong, Vaughan, I'm sorry. But this book, I just want to gush about it real quick because it is so good. It is like just... Okay, so you have Rufus, who is our resident troubled ne'er-do-well. I think I'm just gonna read the back for you guys since I'm like blanking on this book, but it says, the Prince Jonathan is plagued by visions of death. With the king on his deathbed and the tyrannical queen in power, the kingdom of Hermatia lies in peril. Fleeing the city in fear of his life, Jonathan is shadowed by Rufus Merle, a young secretive magi tasked with bringing him home. Now with the help of a fearsome, I'm gonna say it wrong, Sidhi warrior named Faye, they must traverse a dangerous fairy wood together. Against bandits, fairies, and cursed priestesses, these unlikely friends travel a path fraught with danger, not least from the bloodthirsty Night Patrol and the dark conspiracy that surrounds them. Okay. The Night Patrol. They are some of my favorite characters, and Rufus is the resident bisexual. I love him. He's fantastic. He's so good. I had the original version. I think she went back because fans were complaining that even though Rufus was coded as bisexual in the original first draft, there wasn't actual bisexual representation, even though he was shown or it was told to us that he was into men and women. We just wanted to see that, so she went back, and when she was going to publish it under her own publishing imprint, he said it like it was more out there, which I commend. So thank you for doing that, Madeline, even though I understood that he was bisexual in the first take. But Rufus is troubled. He's basically the Christian Delacroix in my series to this book. And Jonathan is the prince who is troubled himself. And I love that he's like covered in light and he's the blonde-haired prince that everybody wants to rule and he has his own issues. This is a fantastic epic fantasy and just a slap in the face to my publishers who told me that big books don't sell. This book is 508 pages at the end. 508 pages. And she has a glossary of, you can't even see it. She has a glossary of names and titles. I need that. You know how many people were telling me that they're confused about the amount of people in my book, and I didn't even think about making a glossary because I thought people would just get it. But if you're making an epic fantasy, which I will do for my next one because I do have many other stories planned, I am going to make a glossary for you guys because the more characters, the better to me. I love the characters. I personally can follow all of that. I love being in the story for a very long time, so I love books like this. Like, to me, and I know in the genre, epic fantasies are huge books, big books, not small books like my publisher wanted me to make my series. Huge books. My books are not just fantasy, they are epic fantasy. And this is a prime example of epic fantasy that I love. I love fantasy. I love the genre. The more magic and swords and troubled relationships and friendships, I'm there. Like, and she goes into Fae lore a lot more. I would say the Night Watch. The Night Patrol is just, they're all dark and troubled. Like, it's just so good. I recommend everyone go pick it up. If you like a good boy friendship, older man, troubled relationships with the Night Patrol, you would love this book. It's so good. There's like relationships and like romance a little bit and troubled stuff. I can't gush about this enough. It's such a good book, and I recommend everyone go out and buy it and buy her other ones as well. I have the other one here, Blood of the Delphi, and I have to buy the third one because I really want to support her a lot. It looks all messed up because of my green screen, but it's a beautiful white cover with blue everywhere. But yeah, this one like broke me. This one was fantastic, but I'm gonna talk about that in another video. This is such a good starting story if you love. Oh, and there's a map. There's a freaking map, and there's like the god. There's like the god. If you can see that, look at that. There's the map, and then here's the god pantheon. She has god pantheon. Like, just everything you want from epic fantasy is right here. Like a beautiful map, beautiful. Like, she did her research, she knew what she was doing, and she made a fantastic story that I recommend everyone go read right now. If epic fantasy is your thing, I recommend you go read this immediately. The Sons of Thestian by the beautiful Vaughan. Look her up on Google, follow her on Twitter. She is a fantastic scholar and she is a fantastic writer. Absolutely. So this was my Blood Talk episode. I'm going to do another review on Blood of the Delphi next. I know I didn't really like go into the plot and everything. As I was looking through the book just now, it came back to me. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but if you are a fan of dark and light and secrets within kingdoms and troubled magician boys who are badasses and awesome, you're gonna love the series and love the book and love the story, the world that this woman has created. If you like epic fantasy, I just read it. Just, that's all I can say. Just read it, because I'm like fangirling. I'm a huge fan of her. I'm a huge fan of epic fantasies, and I just want to read more of them. So if you have any suggestions for any future epic fantasies you want me to read, any old ones, new ones, things are coming out, things that have come out already, let me know in the comments below, because I am there. I love reading about this stuff because I write it, and I want to expand my horizons because I haven't been reading a lot. I graduated last year from college as an English major, and my paper was 30 pages long. My last my dissertation, my thesis. I haven't read a book in forever, so please, I want to start reading again. Drop your favorite books in the comments and I'll check them out. Or hit me up on Twitter in my DMs, or leave me a comment on Twitter or anything. Just let me know any type of fantasy books that you guys have in mind, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!